Hi everyone, Sailor Mars here, Sailor Red World Ray here, and today we're going to talk about why why I think Android is more greater than iOS. Now, a lot of folks who have Y speakers, and yes, didn't have a Y speaker until the 12th month of last year. A lot of folks are always talking about the iSpeaker all the time. Gotta have the Apple iSpeaker with Apple iOS on there. Oh yeah, gotta have all the cool Apple tools and settings that everyone thinks is out there, and Apple thinks that they're the great at everything. But the truth is, Google Android is more good than Apple iOS. At least that's my belief. One, if you know how all the tools work, as long as you wipe it down all the time, you shouldn't have a bind, you know. And I know that anything that folks say you can do on iOS, you can do on Android too. Make a likeness, I'm doing that right now. Take a likeness, I'm doing that right. I can do that. I can film and shoot a likeness too. Go on the interweb. Yes, I can go on the interweb, wireless interweb, but yes, I can go on it. Look up things. Yeah, I can do that. Can I watch things on there? Hell yeah, I can watch things on there like, I don't know, Netflix or Hulu or, Peacock or whatever. Even some of the free ones like Croco and Tubi. Make calls, I can give and I can make and take calls. Tides, I can give and write tides. WordWire, I can do WordWires too. So anything you can do on iOS, you can do on Android. Play games, yeah, you can play film games on it. I'm not into that, but some folks can, and yes, you can. So anything that you can do on iOS, you can do on Android too. So I don't really think there's a big unlikeness between them. Except maybe when it starts up, you got this Apple thing looking at you all the time. That might be the unlikeness. Now, a lot of folks out there are going to say things like, well, what about EvilWare Stronghold tool? Yeah, I got an EvilWare Stronghold tool. I get updates for Google, for Android, for its Stronghold tool, updates for Bug Heals and Stronghold and all that shit. Yes. And any kind of tool you think there's an Apple tool, well, there's a Google tool as well. So I'm not losing out by much. Now, I know some folks out there are going to say something like, oh, well, what about Cell Pack Lifetime? Well, I think this Cell Pack on my Motorola, Play G, G Play, set a web Y speaker with Google Android, I think it has good Cell Pack life. I mean, that is a bind that some folks who have wireless speakers Y speakers and wireless speakers go through, and wise ones, because they lit their cell pack all the way from 100 to nothing. Then they might have back up and they wonder why they're losing all that cell pack lifetime. Or they're doing something that's taking a lot of life away from their cell pack. I don't know, all from above. At the end of the day, I think Android, even though it's mostly Microsoft or Smallsoft or Google, are mostly the two businesses that work with it. And even though iOS can be worked with, even though iOS is offshooted between the three, it's mostly Apple that does that. And a lot of businesses out there, and even a lot of well-known folks out there, will always talk about how they want the Apple iSpeaker with Apple iOS on there, because no other Y speaker will do. Yeah, with them, Motorola and Samsoft and Silvermania and Sony and Motorola and Google won't work for them unless it's Apple. Now, you might think to yourself, What about the care? What about the ones that give you the feed? Well, like what? AT&T, Verizon, Chester Cox, Comcast, Spectrum, Fortrol, uh, Team Noble, or Team Wireless, Motorola, which bought them. Well, at the end of the day, some of them are more good than others, but this was a good deal we got from them. And at the end of the day, I always think that my Y speaker. I always believe that Google. Did I just spit on the glass? That Google Android is always more good than Apple iOS. That's my belief. I have no truth to show it. You know, unless I'm going to get someone who has got Apple iOS and tells me, oh, can you do this? Can you do that? Yeah, well, I already talked about all the things you can do on iOS, you can do on Android too. So unless there is some new thing I don't know about that you can only do on Apple shit, let me know. You know? So, yeah, that's just me talking about what I believe Google Android, or whatever the English word for that would be, is more good than Apple iOS, in my belief. If you got a Y speaker who got Apple iOS, that's all good for you. But I think Google Android is good for me. And anything you can do on Apple iOS, you can also do on Android as well. Well, that's all the time we got. If you like this film, then follow me over here at, if you're new here, follow us over here at Sailor Moon for Life. Don't forget to share, thumb up, and playlist this film. Also, watch the other film we made yesterday over here. And also, if you are also still new, hit that ringer to let you know when the next upload, live stream, or short's been done. Sailor Mars Ray, Sailor Red Roll. We'll see you later.